All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here, hanging out with me this afternoon. Jump into chat wherever you're watching. As always, we will do our little roll call here before officially starting the show. Today's been a bit of a whirlwind, but I think we've got a good one for you, despite how busy of an afternoon it's been. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, let's see who's out there over on D Live. Anyone hanging out? Qoys, of course, Qoys over there in the mosh pit. Good to see you. Over on Rumble, Joe Elaine, modding both chats on Rumble and Pill.net. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you as always for all your hard work. And of course, yes, Pill.net. That is the place to be. That's where 99% of the chat hangs out and happens. Floyd in the comfy bunker. What's up, due diligence? We got Patriot 714 and Floyd with the fat ass Taco Tuesday monster taco. Monster taco. This close to Halloween feels fitting. HL Paco, great to see you. Delia down in Arizona. Yeah, M3 was great today on his stream. I really enjoyed listening to at least the portions I was able to. Lightspear, Lance, how you doing? And we got who else? Sorry, my chat is kind of jumping on me a little bit here. My computer's running a bit slow. Hey, there's Denmom EO. Good to see ya. Good to see you. Good to see you. Man, again, I cannot scroll. This is annoying. Floyd says Trump on Rogan's show this Friday. I will talk about that a little bit today, but that's going to, I just tweeted it too. It's going to break the internet, absolutely break the internet, and it's going to break the Democrat Party, I think. R. Harrell, good to see you. Barb Robbins in the house. Space Cookie, welcome. Welcome, welcome, you guys. Hey, Truth Teller 101, D. Richard, Cynthia. Good to see all of you guys popping in the pre-show. Pensitter across the pond over in the England, I believe. We got Tweety52, Casey Powwow. There's Don Ritchie 17. Oilman 94, what's up, dude? Qhio 17. Good afternoon, Mr. Gerardo. Hope all is well. Eagle Freedom checking in. Good to see you. Hey, Laura Y repping the 412. Let's go. Silbor, welcome. Michael V out there as well. And TL Russell. How do I undo the blue pill? I fat thumbed it. That's all right. I think if you just hit the red pill, it'll switch, but don't worry about it. It's all good. Stephanie Spragg, how you doing? Good to see you. Hope again everyone out there is enjoying their Tuesday. I hope the weather by you is as amazing as it is here in Western PA. Just another absolutely picturesque day. Not a cloud in the sky. It's like 78 degrees. It's what, October 22nd? Oh, these Indian summers, they're as enjoyable as they are depressing, though, knowing what's on the other side of them. But yeah, it was a heck of a day to be stuck in cubicle land and doing work behind the desk, let me tell you. Definitely a bummer. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to get out a little bit and enjoy some of the good weather here. Duppy, Lucy Anders, Nezercat, Too Quick, Soldier American. Good to see you guys out there. Trump Red Pill 1. Yeah, I see all the pinata holics rolling on in here. So welcome to all you guys popping over from Thinking Logically with Drunk Pinata. I'm sure he'll be up here on the panel today. And remember, tomorrow we got Craig Mason of Reasonable TV, so definitely looking forward to that. Dale Bercier, what's going on? He's up in North Dakota. You have to lurk and drive. Well, drive carefully. Don't be chatting and driving, getting yourself in trouble, putting yourself in danger. Dread Quarters, Spirit 554, great to see you guys. I'm a minute over. Let's start the show.
We will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
out for tuning in. Patriots united, doing what we gotta do to win. Be evicted, the MSM, and now we're moving in. And once we take over, we won't ever move again. Where we go on, we go all. I say it with pride. No, we won't run, we won't fall. We're right by your side. The demons have taken hold, but none of us will abide. Stand strong, stand bold, that's how we'll survive. 412 is the production. Monday through Friday, deplorable discussions. We're making it hard for the deep state to function. Every time they switch up the narrative, we debunk it. Adult Nero is the power that's controlling the flight. With all the patriots behind them, cause we're all in this fight. So many rhyme for so long, but we're giving them sight. Trapped in the world of darkness, but we're bringing them light. You may even find yourself in a different life. A lot of us have, and honestly, that's perfectly fine. Because exactly where you are at this moment in life is where you're supposed to be at this moment in time. It's all by design, the patriots are holding the line. They must have lost theirs, thinking they're controlling our minds. So many trapped in mental prisons don't know they can find. They're just slaves in the system till the roles are assigned. That's sad, the good news is that we're waking them up. They have monopolies on minds, but we're breaking them up. Everything you thought was news, they were making it up. When we ascend, all the tyrants won't be making the cut. Let them all burn in the hellscape they create. We the people already mapped out our escape. We hold each other by the hand as we all elevate and go to a different place. They can never get chased. When I look into the future, I can see that it's bright. When this history is written, they will see that we're right. We formed our own community and the circle is tight. But I expand the circle with every word that I write. The pen is sharper than the sword when you wield it with might. Why do you think they try to kick us off all the sites? These people hate America, punish us out of spite. We are the beacons of hope in the darkness of night. So let's go, strap in, yeah, get ready for the ride. Watch the water, we're witnessing the turning of the tide. Feel the passion and the fire that you got burning inside. Take the narrative that feeding you and turn it to the side. We're alerted to the lies, replacing with the truth. We know the plan they devised, they're invading the youth. Now we're only sending vibes, just our raising our boots. These demons all weaponized. Now we're raising our troops, now we're raising the roof and sounding the alarm. Remember that it's always darkest before the dawn. Life is a game of chess, they want to use you as a pawn. You're only useful until you're not useful, then you're gone. But not us, we're on the right team where we belong. Everybody is invited, so come follow along. We refuse to say things are right, knowing they're wrong. Adult Nero, take the mic and take flight, cause it's on.
And now, straight from the Steel City, it's your host, 412 Adult Nero.
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for another Deplorable Discussions. My name is Adult Nero. It is October 22nd, 2024. Riding shotgun with me on this beautiful day, my OG crew, Tennessee Homesteader and Drunk Pinata. Let's say hi. TN, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, and kind of interesting thing happened today.
Yeah, what's that?
I got a job offer from an agency offering me a job for $281,000 a year, legit,
Okay.
doing the systems architecture that I was doing when I left and I retired.
Okay.
And it happens to be the job I had.
Oh, really?
Yes. One big drawback is the job location is El Segundo, California, which is no fucking way. But yeah, I was surprised as heck when I got it. I got the email and saying, hey, and then I looked at the details of it, and it's like, sure enough, damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you're in high demand, I guess. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're not about to accept that job.
No, hell no. I almost sent them an email saying, been there, done that.
Yeah, right.
Literally.
That's still pretty cool that you're getting recruited. You gotta disable that LinkedIn page, man.
No, and that one didn't come from LinkedIn.
I
I don't know. I do get them from LinkedIn all the time. I get a daily, right, and you get the list. But no, this one was personal because it was sent directly to me with my first name.
Okay.
So that was pretty interesting. Pretty interesting thing for today.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
So kind of funny that, I don't know. To me, it's kind of funny because, I retired in 2015. So it's like, how much of a hurt are you? I guess I could disclose it. This was for DirecTV. in,
Okay.
in El Segundo, and that's what I was doing. I was dealing with the big data architecture for and the satellite communications when I was doing the work for AT&T when they acquired DirecTV.
Okay. Cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's big
right.
work right there. That's
Yeah, actually, that was after a year I was off. See, I was working as doing that for internet protocol television, and and then AT&T buys out DirecTV. So then I retired, and then they asked me to come back to help them with the acquisition. And after dealing with DirecTV senior management, leadership for a while, I said, "Fuck that." I
right.
I quit again. That was 2015. Small world. 9 years, whatever, 9 years later, whatever the case may be. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, now I know you have options in case you ever decide to re-enter the workforce.
Shit, I'd rather go work on McDonald's down the street than the highway if I needed to. It seemed to work for Trump.
Yeah,
Why
and it's not
not?
in California, so we got that going for it too.
Yeah, yeah. It's big money, right? If then you find out you have to live in LA, and all of a sudden you're down to $1 because
Yeah, I
it's
was
like
gonna say, well, you said like 281. Yeah, that's like making 30 grand a year in Pittsburgh.
exactly, exactly.
Well, Tien, as always, it's great to have you aboard, sir.
Thanks.
Yep. Let's go, Junk Pinata. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah. How was thinking logically today?
Pretty good. They're taking a one-off quip that Trump made and making it an entire, oh, this is what Trump is doing instead of campaigning. He's just talking about Arnold Palmer's junk. It's just ridiculous. Like
It
it
wasn't
should be
even
this
that big of an
transparent.
item. It
No,
was
I know.
it was just like
Dude, they're pathetic. They're
Yeah.
pathetic, and I heard rumors today that Kamala Harris is quitting the campaign. Like, I don't know if it's just for today or if she's actually just done, and Barack Obama is just going to basically go out and stump for her instead. Have you heard any of this, guys? Any of this rumor going around?
Mm-mm.
yeah, because he's out there in force, but it ain't working either.
Yeah, yeah. So I can't remember where I heard it. I
Had
saw
to
someone
because
say like she's not going to campaign anymore. Like she's done. I don't know
well,
if
she's
I don't know if that's
done.
true, but it's crazy if it is.
Well, it goes to show that the reality is hidden them. I mean, we talked about yesterday how they were doing insider stories of the infighting in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
And then you had the triad of the one shy of the four horsemen of the apocalypse, which was Shapiro, Gretchen, and whatever the asshole is from Wisconsin governor going out there and telling everybody that hey, the economy's great, nothing's wrong, everything's okay, and Radich is going, but your people are saying it sucks.
Yeah.
They're in total denial.
Well, they're in denial, but they're not. Like they know what's happening.
Oh
You
yeah, yeah.
see it when you look at the Senate races in these battleground states for sure. You have Bob Casey and I don't know the other Democrats running, I'm not gonna lie, but you have these, especially incumbent senators in these battleground states that are now, oh, we love Donald Trump's tariffs and we think the border wall is great and we're all with Trump. They don't even mention Kamala Harris in their ads anymore. I mean, that right there tells you everything you need to know. They got permission from the overlords to attach themselves to Donald Trump and kind of bail on Kamala Harris because they know like they need some kind of firewall. They need to have some kind of resistance within the legislative branch. And if they keep, plugging or stumping for Kamala, they lose all credibility and they continue to hemorrhage voters. And the Democrats are just desperately trying to keep things to a place where they can, play some clock management against the America First movement during Donald Trump's term. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that develops here over the next week or so. Especially now too with Donald Trump going on Joe Rogan on Friday. I don't know if you guys heard this, but he's going to be on Rogan on Friday, That's major.
He's actually
he-
going to do it,
That's
huh?
going to be the most widely viewed podcast in the history of the internet, and it's going to come about a week or so out from the election. When it's going to, I think, be kind of the final nail in the Kamala coffin when when it's all said and done, because she can't go sit with Joe Rogan. It would be she couldn't handle Brett Baer for 15 minutes. You think Joe
She just,
Rogan is
she
going to be
just
any?
did. She just did Al Sharpton. What? Come on, you can't beat that.
Yeah. It's
But
So
Rogan. Okay, so here's the numbers, right? This is the number we have to remember: 318,000 plus. But let's keep it at 318,000. That's the number of viewers that Bongino had when he had Trump on there last week. That was
yeah,
318,000.
that was live, right? So it's
That was
probably,
live. That was
yeah. I
live.
wonder what the total views on that video was when it was all said and done.
Yeah, I didn't look at it today.
And we don't get unique viewers when we look at that. We only get total clicks essentially too. So it's hard to say. Plus Rumble's a little dishonest with their total views, the way they add them up. So on Rumble, just so you guys all know how this works, on Rumble, let's say I make my post at 10 a.m. for this 4 o'clock show, and I attach one of those like um, temporary videos or placeholder videos that just kind of loops while you're waiting for the show. If 10 of you log in at 10 a.m. and just open that up and leave your computer on all day waiting for the show, every time that little 45-second video loops, it counts another view towards the actual broadcast. So if you go, for example, and look at taking
well,
it.
that's the display number. So, but if 10 people did that on the back end, we see that 10 people did that.
Right. We see it. I'm just saying in general, like when you're looking from an end user point of view, or a viewer, not a content creator, looking at your own internal metrics. When you look at your when you're as a viewer looking down the list of videos and you're looking at how many views something got, you got to take it with kind of grain of salt. For example, taking it back, I think last week or the week before, they posted it at, you know, 4 a.m. the night before. By the time we actually went live, the video already had like 8,000 views. We hadn't even gone live yet. And those views count towards the overall total when it's all said and done. So it's just something to keep in mind.
Well, since Rogan is also live, right? That's why I was saying the 318.
Yeah, Rogan's live, but he's only on, I think he only does the live thing on Spotify, if I'm not mistaken. And then it gets uploaded everywhere else.
Yeah.
Because Spotify paid him some ungodly amount of money. I think it was like
That's true. That was the exclusive.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's the marker, because the other one would be the one that Trump did with Musk, but that was on a Twitter space, so that's not it's not comparable. A head-to-head type of thing as a stream, even though it's audio, right?
Right.
But so we'll see. It'll be interesting. It definitely should prove to be very interesting. But overall, like you were saying, at the time left when we're into 14 days, literally 2 calendar weeks, right? Before election day. And my count is to the end of election day. I measure to midnight of the 5th, not to the 5th, because you can't go to the 5th. You have to be inclusive, right? Because if you count to the 5th, it's going to count to the when you arrive at the 5th. Well,
Right.
polls don't open until, depending on your state, your local time zone, right? So, anyways, and I went to midnight East, even though it's long past, and the reason is Hawaii.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I managed to
Okay.
also today on the show, I managed to find a more annoying person than Kamala Harris.
Oh,
Her husband.
Worse than
Waltz?
that. Here, check this out. There you go.
Tell you though, as someone who's often the target of this kind of vicious speculation, I was outraged. Come on, it's a joke. It's a total joke.
Scott.
And let me just ask you one question. If you're so offended by this, where was the offense at the Democrat convention when former President Barack Obama himself at the podium made his own junk joke at the podium. I didn't hear anybody offended about that, and now we're offended about this. Come on.
Here's why. And actually, the thing is, I don't think people are even offended. They're just like, oh, there goes Donald again. We thought maybe he could focus on policy, complete a speech, actually talk about. But it's like it goes back to the same shtick. And what was funny about the Obama joke, A, it was actually funny, and
it's
B,
okay when he does
it was
it.
unusual.
Yeah, it's funny when he does it.
It was unusual that he did it. This is par for the course for Donald Trump. You have
is that a golf pun?
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done.
I'm so glad you picked up on that. The fact that we are 2 weeks out before an election, every vote counts, people talk about the economy, all these issues, and you have all of these Republican strategists saying, Donald, please just stay on message, actually just complete a speech, and this is how he chooses to spend his time.
Well,
it's not changing any voters, right? People will find the joke funny or not.
No,
right?
I think you're watching a clip. You're watching a 10-second clip of what was an hour-and-a-half speech where he was talking about the economy. He was talking about the world being on fire. He was talking about Iran.
He also decided to go on his rant about insulting Kamala Harris's intelligence. And again, I'm not sure that when you're talking about the swath of women voters who are still, in theory, up for grabs, that continuing to call a woman stupid, calling her names, is an effective way to get that vote.
Not calling women
Okay, I'm pretty sure.
calling that woman stupid.
What Obama that we have are about how does this actually land on the ears of women. And I've talked to a lot of women voters who do not like that. They feel like when Donald Trump is on TV, they cannot turn up the volume when their kids are around. Like that's, I mean, maybe that doesn't change a vote, but there are a lot of people in this country who feel that way.
Well, and it's
I think
also
they,
what
and they
Scott
may feel
was
that way
saying.
for a second, or they may feel that way, but you know what they do right after that? They go to the gas station. They go to the grocery store. They feel incredibly insecure with the, which I think we could all agree now, crime is rising. Now that the FBI has kind of redone the statistics with the insecurity that we feel around the world. And once again, we're talking about what President Trump said, but what people are feeling right now is what he did and then what hasn't been done since then.
Yeah, let's talk about how women feel insecure and how women feel in this moment, right? Can't go to the hospital and expect that my healthcare needs or reproductive needs will be met in a medical way. They'll have to be dealt with a legal way. Number two,
because they feel insecure.
And who are they feeling threatened by?
Criminals that are being let out of jail.
This idea that it's
Again
a
and
joke.
again.
If you can't take a joke, you should just be okay with it if you can't take a joke, right? So many challenges that women have in the workplace, in social settings, are dismissed as you can't take a joke. The entire point of the 1960s movement forward was to have women seen as equal, to be able to compete on an equal playing field, and to diminish our safety and security or our opinions about whether or not we think something is appropriate for our children as.
Notice how Scott Jennings, he's starting to understand he's doing the look at the camera mode thing.
I mean,
A joke.
That's total social justice virtue signaling right there, because it's like you cannot call an individual stupid as an individual if it happens to be of a class that they want to protect. Not that it is a protected
It's
class.
the exact same thing as like when Megyn Kelly said to Donald Trump in a debate or wherever it was, and she was like, "You called women fat pigs or something." I was like, "No, I only called Rosie O'Donnell a fat
Exactly.
pig." And the line absolutely killed. And it's the exact same thing. I'm not calling women stupid. I'm calling Kamala Harris stupid because she's fucking stupid. Like, and there's direct evidence of that every time she opens her freaking mouth. You listen to her when her teleprompter goes down. Listen to her when she's not, in a setting where they're going to edit her answers and try to make her sound more concise and succinct in what she has to say. You've seen it up and down this campaign. The woman has absolutely no substance. All she can do is repeat a memorized line and fake a few accents. If you need someone to be Jamaican, Indian, Mexican, or straight up from the hood, she can handle those accents, but as far as like the substance of what she's actually saying, if it's not completely scripted or set up for her to sound even like she's a little bit coherent, she comes off as an absolute babbling moron. And again, and it's not just in this campaign. Look at her 2020 primary run. She couldn't get a single vote. She dropped out before Iowa. She was a joke, an absolute joke. And the only reason that she's in the position that she's in is because Joe Biden wanted a woman of color. So he picked Kamala. That's it. That's it. Had nothing to do with merit,
Nope. That's it.
favorability ratings, any kind of talent that she might have brought to the table. Nothing other than the way she looks, the immutable qualities. And again, let them, I love it because they can just keep pushing down this path, the media and the Democrat Party alike, because people are just fucking done with it. People are running away from this way of thinking, and it's every day. I feel like it's stronger every single day. The repulsion to this Marxist mindset of everything's about color, everything's about race, everything's about color, everything's about race. People just it's over. It's over. It's a dying mindset. They did a lot of damage with it for a few years. But it's people are waking up to it. And like he said in the video, yeah, they might not like the joke, but then they go buy groceries and gas. They're like, you know what? I'll vote for the
Mean
guy,
tweets, Andrew.
brass
It's the
guy
mean
that'll
tweets.
lower prices because I don't care. I don't care about the jokes anymore.
The joke is the mean tweet of today. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That whole thing, they just capitalized upon it because it's the mean tweet of today.
Yeah.
And here's the interesting part is even with that, as much as they profess, there was an article, a poll that was taken where they were actually saying that she was leading Trump. Well, when you look into it, it's women over 50, and it was only by 8 points. That was the demographic segment within the women. So when they say there he doesn't have women, you have to then look down even closer because it was women over 50, and it was only an 8-point spread between that. Now, I'm sure 8 points is nothing to sneeze at, but I'm saying it's not like insurmountable number.
Well, 8 points and a good it's an important demographic, but it's a fraction of women that
That's what I mean, right? That's what I mean.
Yeah, and I mean that's really all they have left. And 8 points is not big enough. I put a poll in our Gilded chat. Donald Trump is pulling ahead of Kamala Harris by 2 points with Arab Americans. That's fucking wild. Mr. Israel himself, Donald Trump, is polling 2 points ahead of Kamala Harris with Arabs. Let that sink in. How bad do you have to be to lose to Donald Trump, who only has nice things to say about Israel with Arabs? That's wild. And I saw another poll where he's up 10 points, double digits with Latinos as a whole now. 10 points.
Yeah. And he just got out of the forum today.
Yeah, that was before that too. And apparently,
Yeah.
I heard it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I saw clips of it.
With all that happening, Kamala Harris is taking days off of her campaign, guys.
So I
calling him exhausted. She's so exhausted. Donald Trump is so exhausted that Kamala Harris needed a day off.
yeah, exactly, because he's not doing any events and he's so tired. He looks so tired. It's funny. I'm the CEO of God, no, it went brain dead. But he came up with a new handle for which I kind of like. Kamala Harris. It's like, and I added afuera, which means out, right? And Kamala means it's a spin on her name, Kamala, but Kamala means how bad.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
How bad Harris, right?
How bad? It's very bad Harris. Muy mal, muy mal.
The other thing that it was interesting too is that the guy that did the Sound of Freedom movie, he was in that, and he made a comment that says that it was when Trump promoted the movie that it skyrocketed in the attendance. So that also goes to show, right?
Yeah, that's a good segue too. So I'm telling you what we're gonna do. I'm going to take care of our sponsor quickly here. And then we're gonna get into some videos. I got a lot of videos today, and part of that's just because I was in the office all day and didn't have a ton of time to prep a lot, but there was some stuff from yesterday, and I got some videos that I think you guys will really enjoy. That'll be very interesting. But first, earthgardenbotanicals.com. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this today because you guys all know all about Earth Garden and the amazing products. Our friend Jolene makes them up in Montana. All the ingredients are locally and organically sourced, so you know you're getting high quality CBD oil tinctures, pine needle extract, sunshine and pine needle tea, fire cider, elderberry tonic, the critter juice, the insect repellent. All of this stuff is amazing, guys. And you get 10% off when you use promo code 412 at checkout. So go load up a cart, say hi to Jolene for us, and use that promo code. Again, that's 412 at checkout for 10% off your order. So big thank you to Earth Garden Botanicals, as always, for supporting the show, and you guys out there who continue to support Earth Garden Botanicals with your, with your, I don't know, by buying the products and checking out the website. So I'm struggling to find words today, but anyway, you brought up you brought up the border issue and the human trafficking thing and the movie Sound of Freedom. So there's a couple of things going on right now that first of all, James O'Keefe just put out a video today with a whistleblower talking about this. I haven't even watched this yet, but we're gonna watch that, and I want to watch something else too first, right? So this was from a debate, a Senate debate, California Senate debate with Elizabeth Warren. Listen to what her challenger, listen to her challenger here. Question her about Jeffrey Epstein. This was unreal, and watch her response.
I wish Senator Warren would attack inflation the way she attacks crypto. I wish she would attack securing the border the way she's focused on crypto. You know, she's so focused on crypto. She had the CEO of JP Morgan Chase available for questioning, and they had financed the largest child sex trafficking operation in history with Jeffrey Epstein. And you know, Senator Warren didn't ask a single question. She wanted to talk about crypto because she's so hyper-focused. Now, I know that because I was raped as a child for a period of 2 years, I might be a little more sensitive to those child rape victims. But I want to ask Senator Warren, why would you not ask one question? JP Morgan Chase settled for $290 million to these rape victims. They had to settle with the U.S. Virgin Islands. And Senator Warren doesn't ask a question. You want to know why? Because a former Democrat president's involved, because her donors are involved, because people that she knows are involved. Again, loyalty to an agenda, loyalty to a party. I come in and I want transparency on everything. I'd like her to answer the question on behalf of all those rape victims, though.
So, look, I have stayed after the banks. I have stayed after the regulators that regulate the banks. I have done everything I humanly can to try to get more fairness into our financial system. What I don't hear Mr. Deaton talking about is what is the return on investment that his crypto investors are expecting from having put millions of dollars into his race. Look, I'm all for having a crypto system. If people want to buy and sell crypto, all I want are just some basic fair rules, the same kind of fair rules that should apply to all of our financial institutions.
I do want to move on, but she asked a question of you, so go ahead. Listen.
All right, and there you have your moderator. I'm sorry, it's Massachusetts, not California. I had a brain fart there. And someone said he's a never Trumper. Who cares? It has nothing to do with what we're talking about here. The fact is he went right at her and said she had CEO of JP Morgan who was funding Jeffrey Epstein's entire trafficking ring, and she didn't ask him a single question about that. Why? It's because there's former Democrat presidents involved, her donors are involved. I mean, that is a hell of an accusation. And then he asked her directly. I think the American people would want to know why you didn't ask him questions about that. And she just deflected. She just acted like she didn't hear it. And the moderator had the fucking nerve to be like, sir, she asked you a question if you want to answer it. Like, what about her? Why don't you press her about the Jeffrey Epstein thing? Make her squirm. That's way more important than some crypto regulations. Are you kidding me? You're talking about one of the biggest human trafficking rings involving some of the most famous and elite people in this entire planet. and you just glossed over as if he didn't say it. No one denied it. No one fact checked it. She didn't answer the question. If I've ever seen an admission of guilt through omission of answering a question, it's right there. That's just insane. I've been holding on to this clip for like a week. I just haven't had a chance or a place to really fit it into a show.
Three letters. Three letters. FTX.
FTX. Oh yeah, the Sam Bankman-Fried thing.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Because the minute they bring up Morgan, they have to address. Then she's the guy would be stupid if he didn't follow it up with FTX.
Yeah, and I don't know where Gurley goes from there. He starts going back down the crypto road and kind of lets her off the hook a little bit. But again, that was a massive, massive allegation and moment, and she acted like he didn't say it, and so did the moderator. It was just like, oh, okay, just let that disappear into the vacuum of space. Unbelievable. And then there's this here too. This is from the Daily Mail. Former Abercrombie and Fitch CEO Mike Jeffries is arrested for sex trafficking. So former Abercrombie and Fitch CEO Mike Jeffries has been arrested for sex trafficking and interstate prostitution. Jeffries, 80, and his British partner Matthew Smith, 61, were arrested in West Palm Beach on Thursday, according to ABC News. A third man, Jim Jacobson, was arrested in the same case in Wisconsin. The three are accused of sexually exploiting and abusing young men at parties they hosted in the U.S. and around the world. Prosecutors in the Eastern District of New York said in January that they had launched a criminal probe after several men publicly claimed they were abused by Jeffries and his partner. Jeffries and his longtime boyfriend were last year accused in a bombshell BBC documentary of engaging in sex trafficking between 2009 and 2015. They have denied the allegations. The partners are expected to appear in federal court later on Tuesday. Accusers Barrett Hall and David Bradbury claim that they were recruited for modeling opportunities through a middleman Jacobson, but found themselves sexually exploited. Modeling agency. Now, where have we heard that before? More than a dozen men have said they were approached and coerced into attending sex parties curated for Jeffries' entertainment. A lawyer for Jeffries has previously said, "We will respond in detail to the allegations after the indictment is unsealed and when appropriate, but plan to do so in the courthouse, not the media." The BBC said it has corroborated the accounts with emails, flight tickets, and travel itineraries, as well as former members of Jeffries' household staff. I'll leave that there. It goes on for a while longer, but it's a pretty big story in the larger context of things, with what we saw with Epstein going back years ago to Diddy right now, and now the Abercrombie, very similar operation, the Abercrombie and Fitch CEO and his business partner, this whole modeling thing, right? What was Sound of Freedom? How'd that start? Was it a modeling agency? There seems to be a theme.
That was the excuse that we used to entice women.
Yeah, I think that's what exactly, like, that's the honeypot, right? Is they get these people that have these aspirations to be models, right? And modeling, acting, things like that are jobs that a lot of young people aspire to do, right? And there's a lot of competition because so many people want to do them. It becomes a honeypot where if you want to exploit some of these people, you dangle, fame, fortune, success,
particularly to
these passion career paths, and then you either, if they're, in the case of Sound of Freedom, you just straight up kidnap them, or maybe if like what you're reading here, you dangle that power and opportunity in front of them and use it to exploit them in ways that they would never otherwise consent to, or maybe not consent to. I don't know, but the whole thing is absolutely disgusting. And,
well, remember how their clothing line for little girls got in hot water for the sexualizing of little girls, because of the clothing line that they had.
Is that Abercrombie?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember that. It makes total sense.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yep. And so this was just released by James O'Keefe. I have not seen this yet. but I'll just give you, it says breaking federal government whistleblower exposes $347 million contract for transporting unaccompanied minors. You know, what you know, you cannot unknow. So I'm gonna play this video, and yeah, we'll discuss afterwards. Again, I haven't seen this yet, but this seems like it's definitely something that needs to be put out there.
Moment was when I found out that GSA had awarded a contract to a company to transport unaccompanied minors.
What was that like for you?
It was like someone kicked me in my gut. Once I found out about the contract, after that night, I got on my computer and I started doing a Google search.
Action obligation 40 million, total contract value 347 million. That's over $250 million. That's a lot of money to transport unaccompanied children. I mean, this is a big money business.
And that's why we're sitting here today, because as I shared before, what you know, you cannot unknow.
The crisis of conscience would only grow and reach inside the holy grail of the unaccompanied child transportation business.
There's the white buses right there. That's the FedEx transportation hub for the unaccompanied minor children. They stop the transportation of children, they stop the money.
My name is Clarissa Rippey.
And where do you work?
I work for General Services Administration, aka GSA.
And for those who are not familiar with what GSA is or what it does, can you talk a little about that?
GSA, it basically manages all the services for the federal government. Then you have the transportation side of GSA that manages like travel, transportation, and logistics, that's the area that I'm working in right now.
And what sort of thing do you do in that department?
I'm what's called an 1102. I'm a contract specialist, and my responsibility is to work with contractors that provide products and services to the federal government. And I work on a team of contracting officers, and we award those contracts.
NGO stands for non-governmental organization. But in addressing political and social issues, they receive money from the government. These groups get large amounts of money. The more immigrants they represent, the more money they receive.
Follow it?
Well, the film Line in the Sand, we saw so many of these companies. People were amazed and shocked to see just how many busing companies and making so much money off of the crisis. Were you aware of some of those names of those companies in the film? Or?
Not originally. Then I came over to TTL and became aware that that GSA had awarded a contract for the transportation services.
What was your line in the sand moment here in this situation?
My line in the sand moment was when I found out that GSA had awarded a contract to a company to transport unaccompanied minors.
So you found this out, and then you had this line in the sand moment. What was that like for you?
It was like someone kicked me in my gut, because I had just gotten a promotion, accepted the position for that particular division, and I was not aware at all that the agency that I worked for was party to transporting unaccompanied minors. Once I found out about the contract that night, I got on my computer and I started doing a Google search, and I did keyword searches. I did transport unaccompanied minors. I put in transport of immigrant children, and all of these websites popped up, and it led back to some of these NGOs and these companies, like Acuity, which was the original awardee of the contract, and then MVM protested that award, and the contract wound up back with MVM.
Within the last 9 months, MVM has received over $129 million from the Department of Homeland Security, $719 million from DHS overall.
But as I continued to read the documents that I found online, I found out these are the illegal immigrants, the minors who are coming over without their parents, without anyone that they knew, being shipped at every hour of the day, especially like late at night when we're all asleep in our beds and our children are safe at home. These children were being shipped all over the place.
Shipped over, and that must have made you feel guilty.
Yeah.
For having this promotion.
Mm-hmm.
And that was your line in the sand moment. And we also have some documents here that we've been provided by you. Just tell me what this one here indicates.
This is a GSA contract that was awarded to MVM.
And so it says here in this document that action obligation 40 million, base and all option, total contract value 347 million. That's over $250 million. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of money to transport unaccompanied children. I mean, this is a big money business. It just seems like lost in all of this is any semblance of right and wrong. It's just a lot of people who watched Line in the Sand. The takeaway is it's all about money, and there's no regard for children or human beings.
Evidently, it's been very effective.
Very effective.
They have noted that they wanted the contractor to transport 1,000 children within a 24-hour period of notification. 1,000 children.
Why do they want that?
Exactly. That was my question. Why 1,000 every time within a 24-hour period?
Sounds like a quota or something to justify the contracts. It's almost like they treat these children like widgets or products.
Products.
Like a
commodity.
Commodity. Exactly. Like potato chips on the back of a transport vehicle. You don't see. I don't see a lot of federal employees sitting down to speak about this. What led you to be here?
Now that I'm privy to this information, I can't forget about it. You know, I can't just say I'm just going to wipe my brain clean. It never happened.
But most people do.
Yes.
So
yes.
Why is that?
And I'm guilty of that too. You know, you hear someone will share information with you, and you just like, no, I just want my quiet life. I don't want to be involved. I just don't want all the drama. Right. You know, I just want to live my peaceful life and just
go through the comforts of life.
Yeah, the comforts of life.
Eric Cochran, my former whistleblower friend, he said people just want to go through the comforts of life. And,
right.
And a lot of people are going to wonder: are you afraid of? First of all, you're doing nothing wrong. You're just speaking the truth. Nothing that you've said here is improper in any way or illegal in any way. If anything, you're just being honest about the way it is. But you know how these people can be and how these government agencies can be. Are you concerned about retaliation?
No, and I'll tell you why. Lord, what they are doing is your mission. This is what you have placed us here for this very moment. This is what the Lord has placed in my heart to do. And people can try and do whatever they want to do to me, but they're not fighting me. They're fighting God. This is about the children.
We got an unaccompanied minor right here, guys. This is heartbreaking right here. ¿Vienes sola, verdad?
If
Ahí viene tu mami, tu papá?
Over 250,000 American-born children were missing, it would be spoken about in every Starbucks, coffee shop, in every restaurant, everywhere you walk, someone would be talking about, did you hear about 380,000+ children missing in the United States right now? People would be talking about, but because these are children from other countries, no names, no faces attached to them. People go to sleep, they lay their heads down every night, and they wake up oblivious to the fact that some mother, some father, some grandparent is missing their baby.
I don't think people know about it.
Right.
When you were at the premiere in Newport Beach of the film Line in the Sand, tell me about that experience for you. I have some breaking news for you here this evening. Working for GSA, she became aware of contracts for the transportation of unaccompanied children. I recognize this is very emotional. Come on up.
It was like a second kick in the gut, but it had faces this time. It wasn't a contract, words on a sheet of paper. It was actual faces.
¿Viniste sola? ¿Cuántos años tienes? 10. 10 años. ¿De dónde vienes? ¿De Honduras? ¿Cuánto tiempo llevas viajando, mi reina?
All that said, you know the saying that you don't know what you don't know, right? Well, see, now you do know, and you cannot unknow what you know now.
I know you're just trying to do your job. That's tough.
Yeah, it's not easy. So
Yeah.
especially when you have a little 3-year-old girl walk up to you.
3-year-old girls?
It's not easy.
So last week I had a 3-year-old come up, and all he had was a paper sewed into his shirt. Address and phone number were wrong. As a parent, I don't like seeing that. It makes me get closer to my kids.
My buddy said there was an unaccompanied child that you guys just picked up.
Yeah, we got a few, like 3 that we had earlier.
Traffic?
Yeah, they're gone already.
The last thing I want to say is there's another saying. It takes a village to raise a child. No, not true. It takes a village to protect a child. We have to protect our children. And the only reason why I'm here is because that's my duty now. I cannot unknow what I know now.
If you support Border Patrol agents like Zach, please support us at Citizen Journalism.
All right, so there you have it. I mean, a whistleblower coming right out and exposing the institutionalized nature of the human trafficking over our southern border. And again, you just put it on the context, right? With the Jeffrey Epstein, the Diddy stuff, the Abercrombie, the Pizzagate. They have to get their supply of children one way or another, right? These rat lines need to have the supplies to sell their contraband, in this case, human flesh, which is just absolutely horrific when you hear about these stories. And the southern border is the cartels that operate the southern border essentially are a huge supplier of people. I mean, it's just straight up human trafficking. It's the worst part about it. I don't know if it's the worst part about it, but one of the worst parts about it is it's your tax dollars. You know that 3.5, 4 months to start the year where you work for free? It's not going to roads and bridges. It's going to NGOs to help traffic children across the border into God knows what kind of horrific future. It's going to Ukraine to, continue killing people. It's going to Israel to continue killing people. That's your tax dollars at work right there. That should be enough to make anybody lose their damn minds. And God bless this woman for coming forward. Who knows what kind of retribution she's going to face from the federal government for blowing the whistle on this. I'm sure she'll be audited and, harassed and, I'm sure she's already lost her job. This is absolutely tragic, what we're seeing right now. Are we live? What's going on out there? I keep seeing the stream connecting and disconnecting and reconnecting. We have not had problems in a while. I don't know. I don't think it's on my end. All my connections.
It's bouncing on my end.
What's that?
It's bouncing on my end.
No, I mean, like, I don't think the issue is my computer. I think it's I think there's something going on with Pilled today. I saw Matt in the chat, Matt 1776. Are you still out there, Matt? I don't want to cut off the stream everywhere if we're not coming through 100% on Pilled. I'm gonna text Matt real fast, but I mean, I'm sure TN, you have some thoughts on that video. It's pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's just one more nail in the not the coffin, but in the poster that is the government. And we've heard it before with the DHS whistleblower, right? And sorry, the HHS whistleblower. And you're wondering, well, this is a what she just talked about, in essence, is a triad. It's the DOD, Lloyd Austin, it's the HHS, Javier Becerra, and it's DHS, Mayorkas. The question that comes to mind is how much are the two on top, Biden and Obama, aware of what's going on? And I'm not giving them a pass. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we know they're not running the show. So the question is, how much of the show do they really know? I mean, is it something? I mean, even knowing that there's trafficking, even if you don't know the details, as this woman did, and you're allowing it to happen, then you're complicit. But those are just the two puppets. The ones that are making it happen are the three that I mentioned. We knew that from Becerra and Mayorkas for certain because they've been around for the longest time. Now we're seeing DOD funneled money. And we haven't even heard from the State Department yet. You know, what their participation, but this is the people that were brought in to do exactly that. And now you can see why you have an average of 199 lost per day. Rounded. 200 children lost per day. Not a year, not a month, per day. And they're not lost. They're just unaccounted for.
Right.
And I'm not saying that it's an excuse. I'm saying they know where they went. They're not lost. So I don't know. This is systemic. So even if you were to have a Trump come in and replaces those three, which he will, because that's the norm, those guys are also sitting behind a desk and giving directions. Not look. They're willing to put out the money, and there's a taker willing to accept that money for the job. That includes the Border Patrol, that includes those bus companies, that includes everybody that's involved in the chain, because it requires a heck of a lot more than the few people that may be on the grift, right? The ones that, and I mean few in the sense in the greater collective, but they were just interviewing Border Patrol. Why are they doing the job? Why don't they just say to Mayorkas, fuck you, I'm out of here? I mean, I know that it's hard because of your job and your family and all that, but when you put it into the same perspective this woman did, they're even more involved than the woman, the whistleblower woman, because they are the boots on the ground allowing it to happen.
All right, so I've been clicking around other streams. It seems like there's a lot of buffering. At least I was getting some buffering on other ones too. I don't know if it's just us, if it's a platform thing, if it's something I'm doing wrong. Or something with my, was it giving anybody issues yesterday? Because I didn't see anyone complaining yesterday.
No.
Yeah, I don't think it's on, I really don't think it's on my end.
Your computers are reacting to your new digs.
I'm gonna cut off a couple of the other streams, but I'm gonna, for right now, I'm gonna leave Rumble up until we get I'm gonna see if cutting off a few of these other streams makes it go any smoother. I'm going to leave Rumble up for now until I'm confident Pilled is stable, but I'm gonna cut off all the other streams right now. I'm not going to do the whole video shtick or whatever. So if you're watching on those other platforms, go to Rumble or Pilled, preferably Pilled, and find us at 412 Productions. But if you're having issues with Pilled, you could use Rumble for right now. I'm going to cut off these other ones for a minute and just see if this stabilizes. And if it does, we will go exclusively to Pill, but I want to see if we can get like a solid 10 minutes without any buffering issues before I do that. So D Live, Twitter, Cloud Hub, Odyssey. You got to find somewhere else to watch.